Hey, what's up, guys? It's Power Bang. I wanted to bring to you a video today on funneling. Funneling is one of the most basic mechanics of this game that we play called Clash of Clans. If you don't know how to funnel, your troops are going to run around like chickens with their heads cut off. They're going to circle a lot of bases. They're going to get real good at, kind of square dancing around your objectives, and you're going to fail a lot of attacks. You're going to curse, you're going to throw your phone, you're going to smash your tablet. That's just the way it is. So funneling, once you understand this very basic concept, is going to help you become a much better player. So what is funneling? First of all, it is basically the art of driving and directing your troops that you would like to attack with towards the core of the base or any objective that you're trying to get at. But from a war perspective, you're trying to funnel your troops towards the town hall and or any other objective, such as maybe an archer queen that you're trying to kill, or a clan castle lure location. So in the case of this raid, let's take a look at this base, and what we're going to see is a centralized clan castle. It's a fairly difficult lure. What we're going to have to do is go ahead, I'm going to send some balloons into this cannon down on the bottom portion of the base, and my goal for this raid is to send in a golem, back that up with my kill squad and my heroes, and like any Town Hall 9 raid that you do, you're going to have to do a couple things first before you release the bulk of your attacking troops, and that's to eliminate the clan castle troops. You need to lure them out, bring them out, and kill them. And the archer queen has to be dealt with before you can release your troops. And basically that archer queen, you can't leave her alone to let her decimate your raid, because she will almost every time. If you don't deal with her, she's going to either redirect your troops, throw them off track, or flat out kill them. So killing the CC, killing the archer queen, and then you can proceed with the raid. So, okay, looking at this base, if we're going to be funneling our troops here to achieve the objective that we just talked about, what we need to do is we need to send a golem in, and we're going to send a golem to this cannon here. Now, if we're looking to send our troops to the core, what we need to do is we need to actually create a funnel. Now, in order to show you what I mean here, there's actually, think of it like kind of an airplane runway. You want a strip of buildings heading towards your objective that don't have anything else around. You don't want anything next to your runway. So if you look at the core here, where getting to a jump spell is going to be our end objective, getting this jump spell here and getting into the core is what we want to do with our kill squad and our heroes. So let's look at this as our end objective and figure out, okay, where's our runway here? Well, if we look at this little lane and this lane here, we need to keep our troops in this red area. So what that means is the buildings around and outside of this, on the outside of the base, need to be dealt with before we begin. So in order to make this happen, let's mark them here. We need to get rid of this gold mine, this elixir, this barracks over here. And what this does is this creates a gap over here. And this gap means that when, say, your wizard destroys this elixir and this army camp, the next closest building is only that far away, versus all the way over here, it's got to walk quite a bit further. So as long as your troops that you're sending are not defense-seeking troops, such as a hog rider, a balloon, golem, or giant, it's going to target the next closest building. That means P.E.K.K.A.s, dragons, wizards, witches, all of that. They're going to go from building to building here until they make it in to the core, to that jump spell. And when you get there and there's no buildings left outside the walls, you're going to notice that the jump spell will lead you in to that mortar just on the other side of that wall. So when you drop that jump, they're going to take it, and the mortar's the next closest building. So the troops jump over, and then you continue the same mechanic once you're inside the walls. So that's exactly, what funneling is. Now we have to look at the angles that our golems need to take in order to make that happen. So as I demonstrated before, if we only take, say, one golem and we dropped him in the center here and sent him towards this cannon, well, the only area that it's safe to deploy your wizards is directly behind him in this little small area here. And what that's going to do is they're going to actually kill the buildings that we want to leave alive. And if you do that, their next closest buildings are to the side. And what that means is your troops, lo and behold, they're Marco Polo all of a sudden, and they're going to circle and go around the world. So you can't just send in one golem, because if you come from the flank of this golem, your troops are not going to be protected, and they're going to get shot by the wizard towers here and or the archer towers. So your troops are not going to be protected. Now, if we go with two golems, we need to look at the angles that we're going to take in order to make that happen and be successful here. So let's take one golem. We can start him here, and he's going to go this way towards that cannon. Now what that's going to do is it's going to get the attention of this wizard tower, this archer tower, and this cannon. And they're all going to be shooting at that one golem. Now, if we take another golem and we place him down, say, over here, he is going to head for this cannon here since it's out in the open, and that's going to get the attention of this cannon, this wizard tower, and this archer tower, and they will all be shooting at that golem. Now what that's done is it's basically created a wall, a big meat shield behind this golem, that it is safe to deploy your wizards, witches, kill squad, whatever troops you have, anywhere in this location. It becomes unsafe when you get past, say, this line here and you're in range of this cannon. So that's when it becomes unsafe for your wizards. But basically you're going to be able to take out, if you drop wizards on the sides, remember where we talked about the buildings that we're trying to eliminate, so we can create a funnel here, a little runway to our objective. If we eliminate this building, this building, this building, this building, this building, this building, and by default you're going to be able to get some of these defenses knocked out as well. Now we have our runway. We can drop our troops and our kill squad here. Our heroes will go in, and we've created a funnel straight to the core. So let's go ahead and let's start this raid, check out how it goes. And first we'll see the balloons go in to destroy this cannon. And when they do that, they're going to proceed inward, and they're going to get this lure on the clan castle. So you notice as they get there, they're going to move in, and some troops start coming out. They actually didn't make it there, but the golem and the troops, they've stopped to attack here. It actually didn't quite go as planned, but you'll notice the troops on the side have cleared out this funnel, and the witches, the heroes, everything is beelining in towards that queen. She's already dead. The jump spell goes down. Clan castle troops are coming out, so I drop a rage to deal with that. The golem jumps in, Rage the King. Didn't get enough of his ability as I would have liked because I had to deal with the clan castle troops too far in. But let me pause it right here. You'll notice that the wizards that we put down are all the way over here, and they've cleared this entire area. Now that's super helpful, because not only are you picking up quite a few percent, but everything that you dropped is heading inwards. So the goal for this raid was to get my troops into the core, into this area here, and have the archer queen take out this air defense, this air defense, this air defense, and this air defense. Because if you'll notice, you'll look around, you've got all these defense buildings that are way outside the core, that they can't help once the troops are in the core and they're attacking. They're too far away to actually assist, so they're going to be able to fire a few rounds in there once they have already destroyed it and progressed. And once that happens, I'm going to send in, I've got a bunch of balloons that I'm going to send in to all these places that are going to go ahead and clean up the raid. So that's what the goal was for this, and I will go ahead and keep going here. So you'll notice the queen, she's taking out the second air defense now, is going to hop the wall. and the enemy king just went down. I've still got several witches, several wizards left up, and just go ahead and, you know, they're gutting this core. The town hall's going down right now. The queen's going to help get that done, and then they're going to push through, take out that expo. The balloons are coming in. I actually sent them in a little bit earlier than I wanted to, before the queen had a chance to take out all of the air defenses. So a little premature on my part, but, you know, all in all, the job was done. She goes and takes out all the air defenses. Here comes the remaining loons. One by one, the remaining defenses are going down. You see the one last cannon there on the left, and you know the last 4 loons are going to make a beeline for it, take it out, no problem. And now I've got a minute left to take care of the cleanup on this base, and I've got 2 witches left and an archer queen with a full health and an ability left, as well as 4 balloons. The 4 balloons are going to be really nice in taking out some of the higher HP buildings, such as the storages, should I had, you know, run short on time, but that's not going to be the case here. I go ahead and get this done with I want to say it was like 10 seconds to spare in the actual raid, but you know, luckily the archer queen's fast, the balloons ignore walls. This is no problem in the queen up. So you know, this is how it's done as far as the funneling is concerned, guys. Without cleaning up these side buildings first, my troops would have circled the base and not gone for that core, not gone for the queen, and the whole raid would have been shot, you know, from the get-go. So hopefully you enjoyed this one, and I will be bringing you another attack here shortly, and we'll talk about what went right and what went wrong on that one with regards to funneling. So here's an attack on my base. Now, I'm not too particular about showing my base because I change it all the time. All my designs are custom. I'm not super concerned about showing you where my traps are, etc., because I'll probably have a different base the next time you see us in a war. So what I want to do is kind of take a look at an attack on this base by a Town Hall 10 player. He doesn't have his queen, but the principles that he uses to attack in this base, the strategy that he uses, it's doomed to fail from the start. Like literally within 5 seconds of starting this raid, I started laughing because I knew he was going to get a 1-star, and you know, he had no shot from the very beginning, and I'll show you why. Now, when you click play here, you know, the first thing that's going to happen is he's going to drop a golem and then another golem right on top of the the first one. So what he's done here is he's effectively narrowed the range of where he can safely drop his wizards behind. So let me mark this. Instead of, you know, maybe dropping his golem here and then having all of these defenses on this side of the base, literally all of them trained on one of those 2 spots, that would safely open up all of that area. He could deploy wizards safely any single place, which means, you know, 1 wizard per building, and go ahead and, you know, trim up the sides here to start and create your funnel, and then drop the bulk of your attacking force in this spot and then have them go inward. Once there's no neighboring buildings that are left next to buildings that are still standing, those troops are not going to want to circle any longer, and they're going to want to go inward. So, you know, right off the bat, I'm sitting here thinking, oh, thank God, you know, he's dropped his golems in the same spot. That gives him a very limited area where he can safely drop troops. Then it gets funnier. He drops all of his wizards almost in the exact same spot. So now I know, great, this is great. He's going to punch a hole. And what I mean by that is he, instead of creating a funnel, he's kind of creating a reverse funnel where he takes this building out here, and where are they going to go once that building's gone? Well, they're going to go to this building, and they're going to go to this building. Well, when those buildings are gone, where are the wizard's going to go after that? Well, they're going to continue to circle, and they're going to go around the base. So that's why you don't want to punch a hole, because your troops are just going to continue to circle, and because there's always a next building, you know, they're just going to bounce from building to building until they're dead. All of these defenses in here, because the golems are not in range of them, the wizards are just going to get picked off as they go around the base. The same thing applies to the other side. As soon as the wizards approach this cannon, because the golems were dropped outside of the range of that cannon, the cannon's going to have a heyday and pick them all off. And they have no chance of going inward where he really wants them to go. He wants his wizards to go towards my town hall and take those out. That has no chance to happen from the very beginning, simply because of the way he dropped his troops. Now, to compound the hilarity, he has gone ahead and dropped all of his wall breakers. He brought 8 wall breakers, and he drops all of them at the exact same time, at the exact same spot. And what you'll need to pay attention to here is he does not pay attention to splash damage with his mortars. Watch this mortar here as all of these wall breakers go to target the exact same point the golems are attacking on the wall. Go ahead and click play again here. Here comes the mortar shell. Boom. Wall breakers, all of them are dead. Not a single dent has been put on the wall from wall breakers, and that is a very good way to waste 18 troop slots and then have the rest of your army hanging out to dry. So pay attention here. The wizards have destroyed the camps like I was talking about, and they've begun to circle. When he drops the P.E.K.K.A.s, because the wall is closed, the wall breakers failed, they're going to circle. They have no way to get into the core of this base. There's no free path, and the closest buildings for them are the buildings on the outside portion of the base. Now, had those buildings been funneled and cleared out before this raid started, those P.E.K.K.A.s certainly would have dropped, and they would have gone straight forward and started hitting that level 9 wall, dropped it, and then started working their way into the core of the base. But because he failed to funnel, they're going to start circling, and that's what P.E.K.K.A.s are kind of famous for. So you'll notice the golems are still, now this is, I'm going to highlight this is kind of funny. The golems are still right here where they started, banging on the wall, and now almost all of the defenses that are in range of his kill squad troops, which are over here and over here, not any of them are shooting the golems, and they're all shooting his kill squad. So he's effectively wasted 60 spaces right here, another 16 with his wall breakers, and that's over a third of his army is just completely useless. The heal spell that he dropped here as well, it did absolutely nothing because all of his troops now are going around the outside portion of the base, and that is exactly what you don't want when you're using Go Wipe. You want those troops to be heading towards your town hall. So clicking play here, we're going to go ahead and just kind of let this one play out. He tries his best with heal spells as these go around. These troops go around the base. The defenses on the inside just literally just pick them off as they move around. He did not perform a clan castle lure to get out my defensive troops in my clan castle, and that's a recipe for disaster almost every time. So you'll see my witches, the skeletons, the balloons, etc. They lock on to all the troops and dispatch them with ease. The barbarian king that does break through the wall, he has to deal with my archer queen. He's not able to lock onto her. She takes him out with ease. So the whole bottom portion of the attack is wiped out. The P.E.K.K.A.s, as they continue to wrap around the upper portion of the base, you'll notice the defense is just picking them off one by one. As soon as the Barb King goes up there to distract, they really have no chance. So they all die out. The clan castle troops head up to finish off what's left of them, and that's pretty much a wrap for this raid. So what we learned is don't drop all of your troops in one spot. You'll need to use proper spacing when you're using golems, and most importantly, create that funnel. Had this attacker created a funnel and trimmed literally just 2 outside buildings on each side first, those P.E.K.K.A.s, even if he had failed with the wall breakers, those P.E.K.K.A.s would have smashed through the walls and headed straight to the core, and he would have easily 2-starred this base. But because he failed to do that, this base was a 1-star, and he got lucky to get that. So let's look at one last attack here and see how Trigger approaches this base and how he uses funneling in order to help himself have an awesome shot at a 3-star raid. First off, let's look at this base. It's a Town Hall 9. It's a mid to upper level Town Hall 9. It looks like most of the defenses are maxed. The walls are a little bit lower level. Heroes are mid-range, about 14 and 15. And this is a very common base that you see in Clan Wars. It's referred to as the General. There's some slight modifications to the front end of this as far as double bombs go. Normally you'll see Teslas in the middle below the Town Hall in those 2 little 2x2 compartments. However, in this base, they've chosen to do something a little different. But the upper portion of the base, you'll notice that there is an archer queen and an air defense located right next to each other. Now you're going to want to look for this setup when you're scouting bases. If you can find an archer queen right next to an air defense and it's accessible via just one set of walls, that is an ideal setup for a Lavalunian raid or any other air type of raid that you're going to be setting up. Because what you want to do is you want to send in a golem, typically, to tank the queen's damage and the other surrounding defenses. You're going to have a lot of incoming damage. All of these buildings here will be shooting at something, and if you give them a golem to shoot at, it's going to be able to take a heck of a lot of damage, while your heroes, typically your Barb King, will come in and take out the queen. After that's done, this whole compartment here will get cleaned out, and that includes the air defense. And so what that does is it cripples the base by not only taking out the queen, it takes out an air defense, so there's only 1, 2, and 3 air defenses left to defend against an air attack, and it now becomes much more easy to path your lava hounds around the base. So that's going to be Trigger's goal with this base, is to get a golem into that compartment. Now, what are the risks here with regard to funneling? Now, if you look at this base, if you just send a bunch of troops in here, your kill squad, to go in here, once they kill this gold mine here, you know, they're going to go to this gold mine and to this gold mine and then to this camp and then to this barracks, and it's going to be the same thing on both sides, and they'll circle. So what you have to do is you have to create a funnel. Now, what he's going to do to create his funnel is he drops 1 minion on this army camp. Army camps are a great place to start a funnel because they take up 4 tiles. They're 4 tiles wide. And typically the building that's on the other side of, say if you're hitting this gold mine here, it's only a 1 tile gap right here between the next building. Now if this army camp is gone, that's 4 tiles that's going to be before it, you know, would be the barracks as the next building. So army camps are a great spot to start a funnel. So what he does is he drops 1 minion on this army camp, and because there's nothing inside the base, the closest air defense buildings are here and here, and that's out of range for them. Their range stops about right in here. So minion's gonna take out that side, and then after he gets his lure done, he'll go ahead and get those troops over to the side, and when he sends his golem, he will immediately send, I believe, some minions to take out these buildings here, and what that does is it creates the other side of his funnel. So what he's done is he's left a little runway into this base where the golem goes down, and then so the golem's going to go here. There's going to be wall breakers that are going to come in right behind it and open up this compartment, and then they're going to be going, the golem's going to go target the defenses, and then the kill squad is going to be coming right behind it. And because all of these buildings are going to be dead, there's actually a runway that's been created that's going to go straight into the base, and that is right here. So he's going to send his troops in, take out the queen, get the air defense down, and we'll go ahead and play it from here and see exactly how he does that. So starting off the raid, the minion goes down, and he's going to give it a little bit of time to work to get that army camp down. Golem goes down. You'll notice the minions on the other side taking out that gold mine, and then they're going to switch to the dark barracks. Wall breakers come in, open up the wall for the golem to get in and target the defenses. The golem is now in range of the CC. The troops start coming out, and you'll notice I pause it right here. All of these buildings that were part of this funnel just blew up. So this queen was going to go circle. You can see her pointed that way, and you can see these wizards pointed this way. Well, this building just blew up. So watch the queen. She's going to redirect, head this way, and same with all these other troops. They're going to go into this compartment and start handling business when it comes to the CC. So there she is. She changes directions, fires in, and there they all go into the compartment. So the enemy queen is down, and the troops are moving in to take care of the remainder of the clan castle troops. The queen's going to move in slowly here, takes out the enemy witch, and then the air defense goes down. Now, Trigger told me that he accidentally fat fingered his hounds here. He meant to send in 2 balloons behind the hound, and he accidentally sent in all 3 hounds. So this actually ends up costing him the raid. He ends up with a 2-star, high percentage 2-star, because he runs out of time. He simply does not have the loons to cover the buildings he needs by the end of this base, because all 3 hounds got sent in the same location. But that's besides the point. The point is to show you the funneling and how that helps to direct troops into the base. So what I want to do is fast forward this a little bit. He moves around the base. It's a very solid attack. Had he just waited a little bit on his hounds, if he would have sent 2 into the first air defense and then maybe a 3rd into the second air defense, he would have 3-starred this base no problem, because he would have saved probably 6 or 7 balloons. But instead, he just basically runs out of firepower. He's only got 2 balloons left after all this, and he's going to make his way around the base. And unfortunately, his pups start firing on the king rather than the storage, and it takes up a little bit of time trying to get through everything, and they just leave a little bit too much left on the table. So literally another 3 or 4 seconds in this raid, it's a 3-star raid. So the great things that he did was start that funnel, get his troops in. He took care of the main objectives that you need to take care of when you start a Town Hall 9 raid, and that is luring the Clan Castle troops, killing them, targeting the Archer Queen, killing her, and then also achieving any secondary objectives you might have, such as tripping maybe a double giant bomb set if you're trying to raid with hogs, or in this case, taking out an air defense because he knew he was going to lead in with lava hounds and do an air raid. So that's going to wrap up this video on funneling. Hopefully it's helped you. Remember, when you drop your troops, you're going to want to create a runway towards your objective, whether that's the core of the base, the town hall, the Archer Queen, an air defense, etc. Create that runway, get it going towards the objective by trimming the buildings that are adjacent to or right next to the runway that you're trying to create. So if you can do that, you're set. Those P.E.K.K.A.s and those dragons will stop being crazy on you and stop flying around the base with seemingly no guidance and no direction whatsoever, and you can stop complaining about troops just basically going around the world. So best of luck in your future raids. Check back for more tips and tricks in the future. This is Powerbang, and I'm signing out.